Hey everyone, and welcome back to another spine-tingling episode. Today we're taking a supernatural journey to one of the most modern cities in the world, Singapore. Now, when you think of Singapore, you probably picture gleaming skyscrapers, pristine streets, and cutting-edge technology. But beneath that shiny exterior lurks something far more sinister. A collection of ghost stories that would make even the bravest urban explorer think twice. From haunted public housing blocks where children's laughter echoes through empty corridors, to abandoned colonial mansions where the spirits of wartime victims still roam the halls. Singapore's supernatural landscape is as diverse as it is terrifying. So grab your headphones, maybe turn on a light, and let's dive into the dark side of the Lion City. Now, here's what makes Singapore's ghost stories so unique. Over 80% of the population lives in public housing, called HDB flats. These towering apartment blocks are everywhere, housing millions of people in what's essentially a massive urban experiment. But when you pack that many people into such a small space, well, some stories are bound to get dark. Let's start with our first haunted location, Toa Payoh Block 12. In 1981, this seemingly ordinary apartment block became the site of one of Singapore's most horrific crimes. A local medium, his wife, and his mistress committed what became known as the ritual murders, sacrificing 2 innocent children in a satanic ritual. The flat still stands today, and residents report something absolutely chilling. The ghostly laughter of children echoing through the halls at night. Imagine living there, trying to sleep, and hearing the phantom giggles of victims who never found peace. Block 12 remains one of Singapore's most notorious supernatural hotspots. But that's just the beginning. Let me tell you about Bedok Block 611, Singapore's famous ghost block. Built in 1981 for expatriate professionals, this entire building was mysteriously abandoned by the late 1980s and left completely empty for years. And when I say empty, I mean every single unit. Vacant, dark, silent. That's when the stories started. Dark shadows darting along corridors where no one should be walking. Mysterious lights flickering in supposedly empty apartments. Some even claimed a vengeful spirit was stalking the building. The block became so notorious that thrill seekers and even reporters would visit, hoping to catch a glimpse of the supernatural. Here's the kicker. It turns out the building was just waiting for refurbishment. But try telling that to the locals who swear they saw that block light up by itself at night. Now let's talk about Woodlands Block 852, a building with a pandemic past that hits a little too close to home. During the 2003 SARS outbreak, this vacant block was hurriedly converted into a quarantine facility. Some patients who went in never came out alive, and locals believe their restless souls remained behind. Even after SARS passed, Block 852 couldn't shake its reputation. A tragic murder in 2009 only added to its dark legacy. And for years, many units stood empty. Residents reported strange happenings, attributing them to those who died there. The block has since been renovated and repopulated, but the stories persist, a grim reminder of Singapore's last pandemic. But perhaps the most unsettling story comes from Taman Jurong's diamond blocks, 4 connected buildings that form a diamond shape. These 21-story rental flats have a grim history of suicides dating back to the 1970s. In one infamous case, a pregnant woman leapt from an upper floor and was impaled on a bamboo tree below. 2 young children also reportedly fell to their deaths from Block 64 in the 1980s. The tragedies piled up to the point that entire sections of the upper floors were sealed off. Even today, levels 2 through 21 are vacant and off-limits. Only ground floor shops remain open. Those brave enough to explore the deserted upper corridors report an overwhelming sense of unease and even sudden unexplained fevers after visiting. Now, Singapore's supernatural tales don't end with modern public housing. The city's colonial past has left behind some truly haunting locations, and none more infamous than old Changi Hospital. Built in 1935 as part of a British military barracks and hospital, Old Changi Hospital earned its terrifying reputation during World War II. When the Japanese occupied Singapore, the Kempeitai secret police converted this hospital into a prison camp and torture chamber. Many were executed on the premises, and after the war, Japanese soldiers were tried and hanged there as well. Given this blood-soaked history, it's no wonder Old Changi Hospital is considered Singapore's most haunted site. Visitors have heard disembodied screams echoing through empty wards at night and seen eerie shadow figures roaming the halls. But here's what really gets me. There's a common sighting of a small boy sitting quietly in a corner, just gazing into space. Those who see him report an inexplicable wave of sadness washing over them. Imagine encountering that, a child spirit, forever trapped in a place of such horror. In 2010, a local film crew shooting a horror documentary actually captured a mysterious shadow figure on camera. Crew members reported being touched by invisible hands and hearing ghostly voices on set. Today, the decaying hospital is sealed off with security, but its legend lives on. Then there's the story of Pasir Ris Red House, a seaside bungalow with a name that's more literal than you might think. Built in 1938, this grand home was abandoned by the 1970s and became a popular target for ghost-hunting teenagers. Local legend claims that during the Japanese occupation, the Red House served as a children's nursery and shelter, and that Japanese soldiers massacred the children and teachers there. Whether true or not, visitors reported some truly disturbing phenomena. Demonic dolls sitting on rocking chairs that would scream if moved. Stone Chinese guardian lions at the gate, whose eyes glowed red and heads turned to follow intruders. Some say you had to offer a lit cigarette between the lion's jaws for safe passage inside. But perhaps most chilling were the reports of phantom children, white shadowy figures darting about, accompanied by the sounds of children running and evil laughter echoing in the empty house. Visitors described the unnerving sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. The house's nickname, Red House, wasn't just for its exterior paint. Daredevils swore that by moonlight they could see blood splattered on the interior walls. But here's a twist ending that might restore your faith in humanity. In the early 2000s and 10s, the property was bought and restored as a preschool. The Red House opened in 2014, exorcising its ghosts with the laughter of real children. Sometimes the best way to defeat darkness is with light and joy. Let me leave you with one final tale, Matilda House in Punggol, known as the White House for its pale exterior. Built in 1902 by Irish lawyer Joseph Cashin and named after his mother, this beautiful bungalow sat abandoned for decades. Unlike other haunted sites, there's no famous murder or massacre to explain Matilda House's ghosts. Some locals claimed to see a long-haired woman in the surrounding trees, but the most enduring legend was that Matilda House refused to be demolished. Contractors supposedly experienced unexplained malfunctions whenever they tried to tear it down. Equipment would break, workers would fall ill. People became convinced that some spirit wanted the house to stand untouched. And incredibly, Matilda House evaded demolition even as new buildings rose all around it. Instead of being demolished, it was incorporated and restored as a clubhouse for a new condominium in 2015. Since then, paranormal activity has all but ceased. Maybe some spirits just want to be remembered, not erased. So there you have it, the ghost stories of Singapore, where modern urban planning meets ancient supernatural folklore. These tales endure not just because they're frightening, but because they reveal a hidden side of one of the world's most advanced cities. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, these stories remind us that even in an ultra-modern metropolis, some shadows of the past refuse to stay quietly in their graves. What do you think? Are these just urban legends? Or is there something more supernatural at play? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe our channel for more compelling stories. Until next time, keep your lights on and your doors locked. You never know what might be listening in the dark.